Okay, our second part that we're going to be making is using the same sort of revolve tool. We're going to create this circular plate here, and then we're going to learn how to use a circular pattern tool to be able to put the holes into this. So there's a couple of new things here, the hole tool and the circular pattern tool, plus remembering how to do the revolve. So we're going to, once again, instead of making circles and trying to extrude circles, we're going to create the shape of this and then revolve it around a center line, so we know that this is going to make a hole here in the center. So we have this L-shaped piece to make. This is the center of the hole. I'm going to make the construction line to be the x-axis, and this will start up above the x-axis on this. So we're going to go back to Inventor. Once again, create a new part. Let that load up. Okay, so we go to Start 2D Sketch. We'll go ahead and use the same XY plane. So I'm going to start off with my line tool. I'm going to make it that construction line, and I'm just going to put it right on the x-axis. Doesn't matter its length, as long as it's there. I'm going to hit Escape, and I'm going to shut off the construction. All right, so we can go back and check our work. I'm going to make an L shape that's 1 inch by 2.5. 1 inch wide. It's 2.5 inches above the center line, so that's where we'll have to do some dimensioning. A 1/2 inch and then back down, and then this line is 1 inch above the center line again. So we'll have to do some work here. This is 0.375 there. So we'll go ahead and build this. So I'm going to go ahead and make my line tool. I know it's got to be 1 inch long. So I'm going to type in 1, hit that. I'm going to hit Escape, and I'm going to go to dimension it, and it said it needed to be 0.375 above that line. I got that, and then I'm going to go ahead and my line tool again and start create that L shape. This L shape should go up again. I don't know exactly how long it's going to be, and that's okay. We're going to then hit Escape, use my dimension tool, and we're going to dimension from the top of that to that line, and that should be 2.5 inches is what it said. So if I go back and just to double check, 2.5 inches from the center line, that's 0.375 from the center line. It was 1 inch long. So the L shape going back is 0.5, and then we'll have a line here, and then we'll finish this little L-shaped line that's right there. So we're going to draw a line here going across the top, make sure it lines up with that green dot. We've got 0.5. Hit Escape, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. I want this line to go up some certain amount, and I'm going to hit Escape again. I'm going to dimension the top of that line to that center line, and that said that was supposed to be 1 inch. And now if I draw my lines, that last little L shape of lines, starting with the green dot, I can go over until it hits. You can see the dotted line that pops up. I'm going to click there and then click there, and you can see that I have that L shape now. I can hit Escape. Do not worry about the different colored lines. Not sure exactly why they do go to different colors, but we can definitely tell that this is a closed shape, so we should be all right. So we're going to go to Finish Sketch. Instead of Extrude, we're going to do the Revolve. It already knows that that's a closed shape, so we know we're going to be okay with that. So if you look at this one here, the first thing it asks is the profile, and it highlighted that for us, so we don't need to do it. Now it's highlighting the word axis. You can see that here also. So it's asking where axis to go around, so we're going to pick that piece there, and you can see that it is built this piece all the way around. Let that work itself through. As I click OK here. Sometimes the computer likes to be a little ornery. Okay, there we are. So we've got a plate here, a circular plate, looks like what we're supposed to have here. Now we need to be able to put in a hole. Now it's hard to read here on my screen, but this hole is just a solid hole. There's no threading in the hole. There's nothing of that sort. It's just a hole in the plate, and this says it has a diameter of 0.5. So for us to go to put a hole in the plate, we're going to put a new sketch on this piece. We're going to use the point tool, and we're going to put a point right on the y-axis going up here. Okay, now before we finish it, we need to double check and find out, do we know dimensions? And it shows, if I zoom in on this sheet, that it appears from the top of the hole. No, I do remember this. This will be from the center of the hole to the center of this hole is supposed to be 1.65. I think that the picture was mistaken when we looked at it the last time. If not, we can make that change here. So back here, so we're going to go and dimension this point to be there to the center of the piece. And that should be 1.65. And that should give us a hole that's, or a centerpiece that's directly in the center of that. All right, so we're going to finish our sketch. Instead of doing anything of extrude or anything of that sort, we're going to use the hole tool. I'm going to click the hole tool. I'm going to drag this out of the way. It automatically puts the hole right on the point that we made. It's searching for that. We know that the diameter of the hole should be 0.5. And making sure that your correct pieces are checked here. It should be the top box here. It doesn't matter the drill point because this is going to go all the way through. Termination should say through all. If it says distance or 2, make sure you change this to say through all. And then you want this first box clicked there. And we can click OK. And we have created a hole in that piece as it waits for the extrusion to happen. Okay, and now lastly, we need to put 10 holes in there if I counted correctly. So if I count, I start here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 holes. The one thing that you're going to notice here is this little notch. We're not going to put that notch in on this piece. It's not necessary for what we're going to do later. So we're just going to put the 10 holes on in this piece. So we're going to go back to here. And now we're going to do a circular pattern. So you can see here that there's, on our ribbon, there's a pattern here. And we're going to click circular pattern. And the first thing it's going to ask us is, what do you want patterned? And we want to pattern the hole. So we're going to click here, turn this just a little bit. And I'm going to click so I get every part of that hole. I got the front and back of that hole to be picked. And now I'm done with that, so I'm going to go down to where it says rotation axis. I'm going to click that button, and I'm going to tell it I want it to go around the piece. Now I can pick here, I can pick here, I can even pick here, and it'll go around. But I'm just going to pick this piece right here. And you can see at this point, it's put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes. And that's the placement here. I don't want that to be 6. I need that to be 10. And I've got the 10 holes there. It spaces them evenly. It's going around correctly. I click OK. And that's my plate with 10 holes in it using circular patterning. Please save your work here. Make sure that you copy this, and this will go into your portfolio. But make sure you save this into your Z drive to make sure that that's all taken care of. We'll go on to the next piece after this.